I've been looking at a few videos, make that quite a few videos, significant amount of videos about YouTubers who have been setting themselves up for a challenge in switching from a smartphone to a dumb phone. Some of you may call it a dumb phone, some of you may call it a flip phone, one of those things that doesn't have internet access and all. Some might call it a feature phone. I'm going to go ahead and call it a non-smartphone for the intent of this video. What does that mean for the film and TV business, and what does that mean for the consumption of film and TV? Welcome, story lovers, to the Story Dude Show with your host Jared Dean Winchester, bringing you the final episode for the month of February 2024. So let's get right into it, shall we? If I have to guess, I'm going to have to say, take you back to the early 1990s and up until mid-2000s. What was popular when flip phones were popular? What was popular when the non-smartphones were popular? BlackBerry, Nokias, feature phones, Motorola's, whatnot, Alcatels. But at the same time, what was popular also was camcorders, point-and shoot cameras for photography, VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, that sort of thing. If I have to guess, if people were to go back in time, starting with the consumption of film and TV, I'm going to have to speculate, or I'm going to have to suggest that in the consumption media space, DVD or Blu-ray may take the cake. In some cases, VHS, because some people like the look, the feel, and the effect, the nostalgia of rewinding and fast forwarding. Now, I did post a similar episode about the comeback of physical media. Now, streaming has become so saturated to the point where if a streaming service decides to delete your favorite movie or TV show, you're still paying for the streaming service to access the catalog of film and TV, but not your favorite show. But that's not what you want. You're wasting your money. This is where physical media comes into play. Pun intended. Physical media, you don't have to worry about it being taken off circulation. Once you own a copy, you own the copy. And you can watch it as many times as you like, and you don't even have to worry about the compatibility of your streaming service. Like for example, the file format, the video file format. You don't have to worry about which player, which software you have to get to play that streaming service. Now, given it is included in the package, they will tell you and they will get you to download this piece of software or the particular app of the streaming service. But truth be told, if I was to take you back to the old days, I'm gonna have to, in terms of film and TV production, you can give the mini DV tapes and the DV tapes. And if you don't know what they are, mini DV, digital video tapes, and DV tapes, mini DV, mini digital video tapes. Mini digital video tapes, and of course digital video tapes. Now digital video tapes were larger than mini DV tapes. Now mini DV tapes were the consumer version, and they fit into a lot of camcorders, consumer grade camcorders, the mini DV tapes. But the larger ones, the larger DV tapes, they were for more professional grade camcorders and cameras for filmmaking. Now, nothing has changed in terms of filmmaking, but if I have to give you a technology to use of the past to use for filmmaking, I'm gonna have to go with DV tape and mini DV tape. But keep in mind that there are filmmakers who would prefer the old style film from the early 20th century, which has a set exposure, a set light sensitivity level when used with the camera. But also keep in mind, with film, you're going to have to carefully load it on. You can't just simply pop it in to the camera and get going. It has to be carefully be handled and carefully inserted in the magazine of the film, rolled up, and then, like, this is actually done in a shaded confined space, and you're not going to even know where, if you're even doing it. The best way that you could know, the closest way you could know, is if you feel it. Your touch, your sense of touch is key when it comes to loading a film in a film camera's magazine and pop it onto a film camera. But with DV cassette tapes and with mini DV cassette tapes, which by the way are digital, you just pop it in and you're ready to go. And you just set whatever elements you need. But if you were to do that, your knowledge of filmmaking still stays the same. Your experience, your technique stays the same. Which is why I'm going to tell you that if you were to ditch memory cards and modernized DSLR or mirrorless, go back to the cameras, the E&G style cameras. Now a lot of these professional cameras, they do come like E&G style that accept the mini DV or the DV cassette tapes. Now they're not for too long, but there is the process of downloading the footage by playing the footage in real time. That's the one drawback. You have to play back the footage in a dedicated player for mini DV camcorders and DV camcorders. You're gonna have to get yourself a dedicated player to play it in real time and wait for it to digitize. Now, I know this is time consuming, but you will be able to see firsthand on the monitors how the footage came out, and then decipher for yourself how you're going to cut it in your chosen NLE, non-linear editing software package like Final Cut or Avid Media Composer or Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. So if I was to go back in time, it will be a great experience to find out how they did it back in the day without all the conveniences of modern technology that we have today, post 2010 or post 2020s, I'm gonna have to say the experience of it will be good. It'll be interesting, and you're not gonna struggle around. You're not gonna have, shall we say, that much communication. That's the key. Now, in today's day and age, the faster you get out of film, the better. But also today, it's all about quantity of films, not the quality. If you were to go back to the 1990s, you will find that quality films were judged far better than what they were today. It's today, anything and everything goes. Now, go check out my episode about Valentine's Day, which should be loaded before this episode, should have been loaded before this episode, and you'll know why. Today, quantity is turning out to be a better proposition than quality. If you are wondering why Dustin Hoffman says cinema is at worst, or movies are at their worst, this is one reason why. Now, the other reason I'm going to have to point out is the political correctness and, of course, the critics themselves. Now, on this show and on my podcast, I have repeatedly denounced critics for one of two reasons. The first one is they are not qualified. They are not required to be qualified to be in the industry. That's the first one. The second is they simply don't care. They think they are the smartest people on the planet, and one too many times producers have been known to give away their power to the critics. Now, as I've said in my episode where I justify my criticism, I'm going to have to say that this criticism, the criticism that filmmakers are getting, is unqualified. And also, it's because it's the reason why the filmmakers are taking the easy way out, because they do not want that criticism. Now, I myself, my criteria for criticism is it has to be constructive. It cannot be destructive. But what's happening today is destructive criticism, not constructive criticism. Also, it's the phenomenon of investors, especially producers, who want to get a healthy return on their film. Now, I can understand why you want a healthy return on your investment of the film. That is understandable, but you cannot sacrifice quality just for that. Because if you do, your audience, their experience, their moving on experience with you is going to suffer. Now, me personally, I'm going to do my best to follow the advice that I'm giving you on this channel. And I'm going to be the one to practice what I'm preaching. And I will be doing my best to believe in my film, my characters, my story, which is also S.S. Rajamouli's advice. So I hope you take what I'm saying for granted in this essay for going back to the 90s on how technology was, using technology from the 90s, on using technology from the past to make your film, believe me, it's not the equipment that makes or breaks your film. It is you, the filmmaker, that makes or breaks it. Also, anybody who suggests that it's the equipment that matters, that will be like saying only the best kitchen in the world with the best equipment makes delicious food, when we all know that's a load of crap. It's the cook and the chef that make delicious food. Same story with filmmaking and TV shows. With that being said, thank you for joining me for this episode, the final episode of 2024. I'm your host, Jared Dean Winchester, also known as the Story Dude. Please like, comment, and subscribe because I post anywhere between 2 to 3 episodes per month of the Story Dude show, like I've done this month. And as always, until I see you again, don't forget to turn that page.